Welcome to this step-by-step video guide for how to make a macrame plant hanger. My name's Nicola, the maker behind Rainbows in August, and I'll be taking you through this tutorial. Let's get started by taking a look at what supplies we'll need. You'll need some embroidery scissors, a wooden ring, this one here is approximately 55mm in diameter, some natural cord and some coloured cord of your choice. Today I'll be using a 4mm natural cotton macrame cord, which is locally sourced. And you'll also need a hook to hang your work off as you're making it. To get started, you'll need to cut 6 lengths of natural cord at 2.5 meters each. Once you've cut the 6 lengths of cord, you'll need to thread them through the wooden ring. Pull the cord through to the halfway point. The coloured cord I'll be using today is a 2mm maroon cord, which is also locally sourced. I prefer the 2mm, although you can use up to 4mm if you choose. First, you'll need to cut a 1 metre length of the maroon cord, and then we can get started with our gathering knot. Take the maroon cord and make a loop that's approximately 8 centimetres long. Hold this against the natural cord just below the wooden ring. You'll then need to wrap the maroon cord around the loop and the natural cord as tightly as you can. Ensure you leave a length of maroon cord at the top, as you'll need this later. Continue to wrap the maroon cord as neatly as you can until you have covered approximately 4 centimetres of natural macrame cord. To finish the gathering knot, thread the cord through the loop and pull on the thread at the top. Pull until the loop disappears from view and is approximately halfway through the 4 centimetres of wrapped cord. You should then cut the 2 loose threads and tuck neatly inside the wrapped cord. Separate into 3 lots of 4 cords, and then we'll get started with our first set of square knots. For a square knot, you need 4 strands. The 2 centre strands will remain in place, and we'll use the 2 outer strands to form the knot. Take the left strand and loop it over the centre strands. Then take the right strand, place it over the top of the left strand, behind the 2 centre strands, and up through the loop on the left hand side. Then pull to tighten. We are now halfway through making a square knot, and we need to repeat in reverse. Take the strand on the right hand side and loop it over the 2 centre strands. Take the left strand and place it over the top of the right hand strand and behind the 2 centre strands. Then pull it through the loop on the right hand side. Pull to tighten. And then you have completed your first square knot. Repeat this another 4 times, so you have 5 square knots in total. Repeat the process on the other sets of cord, making 5 square knots on each set. Once all the square knots are complete, we're then going to move on to some spiral knots. First, you'll need to leave a 5 centimetre gap between the square knots at the top and the new set of spiral knots. To make the spiral knots, once again, we'll need 4 lengths of cord. To start off, swap the 2 centre cords with the 2 outer cords. Take the left hand strand and place it over the 2 centre cords. Take the right hand strand, place it over the top of the left hand strand, beneath the 2 centre strands and through the loop on the left hand side, and then pull to tighten. Make sure you leave a 5 centimetre gap between the square knots and the new spiral knots. Unlike a square knot, with a spiral knot you continue to take from the same side. So here we're going to take the left hand cord again and place it over the top of the centre cords, and take the right hand cord, placing it over the top of the left strand, behind the centre 2 and up through the left hand side. Repeat this process until you have made 10 knots in total, and you'll soon see the spiral forming. You then need to repeat this process on the remaining sets of cords. Be careful to ensure you leave the same length of gap between the spiral cord and the square knots. You can do this by comparing against the set of spiral cords you have already made. Next, we're going to do 3 sets of gathering knots using the maroon cord. To start off, cut 3 lots of 60cm lengths of the maroon cord. Once again, leave a 5cm gap between the bottom of the spiral knots and the top of the new gathering knot. As we did at the start, make a loop with the maroon cord, leaving a length at the top. Then begin to wrap the cord tightly around the natural cord underneath until you have covered approximately 3 centimetres of length. Thread the cord through the loop at the bottom and pull on the top cord to tighten. Once again, pull until the loop is approximately halfway through the 3 centimetre length of wrapped cord. Trim the thread at the top and the bottom and then tuck inside until you can no longer see it. Repeat the same process on the other 2 sets of cord. And now we're going to make a final layer of square knots. Leave a 5cm gap between the bottom of the gathering knot and the top of your first square knot. Here I've used 3 sets of square knots on each set of cord. And now we're going to make the section which will hold the plant pot using a layer of single square knots. Once again, leave a 5cm gap between the set of 3 square knots and your single square knot. This will allow the plant hanger to hold a pot that is approximately 10 centimetres in diameter. Leave a larger gap if you plan to use a larger plant pot. We need to join the existing sets of cord together Take 2 strands from each set and make a single square knot. Repeat another 2 times. We're now going to make another layer of single square knots, connecting the 3 sets of cord together. Once again, leave a 5 centimetre gap between the square knots above, or a larger gap if you plan on using a larger plant pot. To finish off this plant hanger, we're going to do a final gathering knot, which will bring together all 12 cords. To do this, you will need to cut a 1 metre length of the maroon cord. Once again, create a loop with the maroon cord and wrap until you have covered approximately 4 centimetres of the natural cord. Thread through the loop at the bottom and pull on the top cord until the loop is approximately halfway through the 4 centimetre length. Trim the thread at the top and the bottom and then neatly tuck it inside the wrapped cord until you can no longer see it. And the final thing we need to do is trim the natural cord so it becomes the tassel at the bottom of your plant hanger. Here I've chosen to leave a 25 centimetre length of tassel. And then all you need to do is enjoy your final product. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more crafty tutorials with rainbows in August.